Welcome back to The Joy of Vinyl. I'm Rick Coste. Now, I've talked about warped records in previous videos, and I've even covered my frustration when unsealing a new record only to find it warped. Yeah. In some cases, the warp is so bad, I won't even attempt to play it, and the record needs to be replaced. And this applies to both recently pressed records and those which have, say, sat in a warehouse somewhere for decades. Warps could be the result of mishandling, bad storage, or even poor quality control at the pressing plant. It could even happen in the back of a very hot delivery truck in the middle of the summer. We've had some hot weather recently. But whatever the reason, it's frustrating and somewhat unavoidable if you buy a lot of records. Like with anything, the chances of something going wrong are statistically greater the more you do it. That's just life. But I was recently surprised by not one, but 3 instances of previously warped records that are no longer warped. And I think I know why. Let's first talk about the situation. This has happened many times, but most recently it happened with these 2 records. Bob Seger's The Distance, an original pressing from 1982, and Ozzy's 2021 re-release of No More Tears. The Distance was a sealed record that went unopened for 40 years. And it's always a gamble when buying a decades-old sealed record. It could have had multiple owners or been stashed away somewhere without anyone giving it a thought to, the conditions it might have been in. Now, I tend to avoid those situations and prefer someone to have actually looked at the record before I buy it, but the cost was right on this one, so I rolled the dice. And this time, the roll went against me. The record was warped. It wasn't so bad that I refused to play it, but after the first play, I decided that might be the last time. Watching the needle go up and down made me a little seasick. Now, Ozzy's record, or records, it's a 2-record set, that one's a different story. It was a brand new pressing on 180-gram vinyl. Now, if you've been watching my videos of this channel, you know my feelings about 180-gram vinyl. Great to hold, but maybe not quite worth the extra money. Now, I have yet to encounter one that sounded better than the original. Maybe I just haven't encountered the right one, maybe. But anyway, I was excited about this particular release because prior to this, an original pressing was expensive. When the OG came out, it was when I was transitioning to CDs back in the early 90s. And what a dark decade that was. Not really, it was fine. But anyway, as is the case with 180-gram records, they can warp when at the pressing plant given the time it takes for a thicker record to cool down. And that's what I suspect happened with both of the discs for the No More Tears release. Again, they played fine, but nobody wants a warped record, especially me. Now, I didn't replace either Seger's or Ozzy's record. Instead, they went into my storage cabinet right behind me that's here in my listening room. I have 2 actually. The one in my listening room right here that holds the records that I'm more likely to listen to, and I have another cabinet that holds the overflow. It's in another part of the house. Even that one is close to busting at the seams. I'm running out of options, but anyway, I'll get past that. So anyways, this past summer, I was on a Bob Seger kick, and I started to go through his discography, starting with Beautiful Loser. When I got to The Distance, remembering the warp, I shrugged and thought, why the hell not? Imagine my shock when I slipped it out of its sleeve to find that the warp was gone. What? When I placed it on the turntable and crouched at eye level to watch it spin, that record was flat. There was no sign of the warp that had bothered me before. Remembering the Ozzy situation, I pulled that one out too, fully expecting to see what I did when I first played it. But no, the warp on that one was gone too, on both records. Was that crazy? Well, that's up for debate, considering the amount of money I spend on records and equipment, but when it comes to warps that mysteriously disappear, well, I'll take crazy. Now, since I began this channel, I've had folks reach out with different solutions to fix warps. There's the record pouch, which some people seem to swear by, and it seems like a cool solution. And then there's that old oven trick between panes of glass, which that one scares the hell out of me. With these records, in both cases, I did nothing to fix the warps. I just stored them away. So how did records miraculously fix themselves? Was it divine intervention? Wishful thinking? An alternate universe? No, it was pressure from other records. Not that kind of pressure, but the pressure of being pressed together my storage cabinet for long periods of time. Pressure can warp a record. It can also undo the damage in some cases. I know of 2 cases where it did, and I have them right behind me. There can't be any other explanation. They've been stored vertically in a tightly packed record cabinet. Not too tight, but apparently tight enough. So I have to say it was a very nice surprise. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever had a warped record suddenly appear flat for no apparent reason? If so, let me know. Comment below or subscribe to the show to know when future episodes are going to be released. And as always, thank you for watching. And until next time, please take care of yourself and enjoy your records.